Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be doing my tier list for all the 32 teams in Locked In. So let's just get right into it. Also, I will leave a link to this down in the description below. I actually made it myself, so obviously if you want to have if you want to do yours, obviously I'm happy for you guys to do it. Share it with me as well in the comments down below or on Twitter or somewhere which I can obviously see it, and we'll see how it goes. So I put them in order of how Wikipedia shows all the teams. So it'll be first to be EMEA, then America, then Pacific, and obviously the two Chinese teams at the very end. So first start off with BBL Esports. Now, BBL is interesting. Obviously, they are, in my opinion, the best team in Turkey. Obviously, FUT and BBL are the only Turkish teams there, but BBL is, I think BBL is better than FUT Esports in my opinion. And obviously, we're coming into Locked In, and they've added like two new players, of Brave and Solchini. That's really all they've done. They've re-added Aimdil, and but Elite has unfortunately left the team to join Supermassive Esports, which was supposed to. Elite was supposed to join BBL, but I guess he's been pushed to Supermassive Esports, so which kind of sucks. I do think though that they're probably gonna be middle of the pack team. If not, I think they're going to be a C tier team. They're just meh, really. I don't think they're really going to light the world on fire. They're just there to just have a good time, I'm guessing. Fnatic, let's just get this out of the way. Easy S tier for Fnatic. They have a very stacked looking roster of both Sudoka, Alpha, Leo, and Chronicle. They also added Kamike and SLK as well. So Kamike is the new player, SLK is the new coach along with Mini. So definitely Fnatic are definitely in contention of winning Locked In. FUT Esports, I'm sorry to say this if you're a FUT Esports fan, but I do think they are a D tier team. They haven't really done anything. All they've done is they've added the captain, formerly from Thunderbolts Gaming, and they've added Muse into their team full time, and they also added Nedenag, who used to be part of a very unknown team of Vivace Esports. So I don't know how proven he is, I'll be honest, as the coach for FUT, but I guess I have to wait and see. But I do think FUT Esports is a D tier team. Next up is Giants Gaming. I think Giants managed to really surprise some people of how good that roster looks like. It's Fatino, Hoodie, Nookie, Rhyme, and Cloud. Pipson is the coach. I generally think they might be actually in contention. Probably a B tier team just for now. You can't really see it, but they are a B tier team. You really can't see it. Wow. But you can probably do that. So here it is, B tier. I think Giants Gaming, that's where they belong. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't really have any other things about Giants Gaming. They look really, really good. They could be also in the also going up maybe up to A tier, but I'm not too sure though. But I'll stick them in B tier, even though you can't really see it. Sadly, I'll stick them B tier. Carmen Corp is next, and Carmen Corp. I'm sorry to say this if you are a Carmen Corp fan, but definitely a C tier team for me. They've only changed like 3 players of XMS, Scream, and Avera, which could probably help the team, but they've obviously still have Shin and Nuzira. I don't know how good Shin and Nuzira are, but we know how good Scream and Avera are. And XMS, I've been seeing around that he's actually a really cracked player. He's a really, really good player. But I'm not too sure about that yet. Obviously, we need to wait until we can actually see them in action. But Carmen Corp is a C tier team for me. Next up, it is Koi, and I think Koi is an easy A tier team. They have a very, very good solo lineup. Codementa, Shadows, Trex, Wolfen, and Starzo. I've been told Wolfen, he's basically like the Wardell in Europe for some reason. Who he wants is just an op. That's all really. And like a really good coaching stuff as well. Barbar and Gukt. I can't remember where Gukt is from. I'm pretty sure Gukt was only from Giants, I'm pretty sure. Or Heretics. I actually don't know where he's from, but obviously he's a proven coach. We know that Barbar, he's a very proven coach as well. Obviously coached the Guild Esports team. And he's also brought Codementer and Trucks with him as well. So Pretty good lineup in my opinion, and that's why I think Koi is easy A tier and a very easy S tier as well for Na'Vi. What else do I really have to say about Na'Vi? They have Angel, Shao, Zeppin, Sugetsu, and CNED. Very like star power roster, and they've also have Dawn Bros as well, and Latix as the coach. Very good coaching staff. Latix formerly from Giants, and Dawn Bros was literally formerly from Na'Vi. So that's already a fantastic roster and coaching lineup for Na'Vi. Team Heretics, I'll be honest, not really that impressed with them. Their roster consists of Kellogg's, Maxwell, Zeke, Boot, and Avova. Nilazino and Weber as the coaches. I'm not really expecting a lot from them. I do think that the probably could be better than Carmen Corp. I don't know about BBL. Probably better than BBL actually. They probably have quite a lot of LAN experience with that team, competing in quite a few tournaments. I do think they're gonna be a B tier team. Probably at the tail end of B tier, I'll be honest. Team Liquid, once again, a very good roster. Soulcast, Yampi, Redguard, Nat, Safe, and obviously have the coaches of Emil and Bacon9. If they obviously had Redguard and Nats in the Red Bull home grounds, I think they would have been contention of winning it, which is why I think they probably could be a low S tier team. They have a very good roster. I'm very excited to see how they go. I think also in scrims as well, they have also played very well. So I think Team Liquid, very good chance of winning it all. I mean, the freaking the simulation things, Team Liquid will just be that Paper Rex in the grand final. So, but we'll see how true that becomes. Our final European team is Team Vitality, and I think they're going to be a pretty solid B tier team. You'll be very solid in my opinion. Actually, I think better than Heretics. Roster consists of Sender, Bone Cold, Mulsey, The Strain, and Twistin. Obviously, Twistin is obviously a diamond in the rough, a very good young player who could easily build around. They also have Sala and Gorilla. Pretty sure both of them were formerly from a crew. Yeah, so Sala, formerly from a crew. Gorilla, formerly he's been actually always with Team Vitality. My apologies. Vasala, formerly from a crew who basically went on a tear in the tier 2 scene, obviously, and then he got picked up to Oglu, which kind of screwed him over in my opinion, but still a very good coaching lineup and a good roster lineup as well. As I move over to the Americas teams, and we'll first off with the 100 Thieves. I think 100 Thieves has a very good roster. They obviously proved it in the Red Bull home grounds, and I think they're going to be a pretty solid S tier team. I don't think they're going to be better than Team Liquid in my opinion, but I think they're going to be a very good team in Locked In. Cloud9, they've also been really good as well. I'm probably saying they could be S tier as well. I mean, okay, well, first of all, 100 Thieves, actually, before I go ahead of myself. 100 Thieves obviously have Astronaut, Derek, Stella, Bang, Cryocells. That's already good. That's already good player lineup. And then they have the coaches of Mike's and James IRL. We don't know who the 6th player is going to be, but I don't think it really matters. So, that's really bad if 100 Thieves. And Cloud9, they have Leaf, Zeppa, Vanity, Zelsa's Yay. They have Cupid, who's basically going to be another coach for the team. And they also have MCE, formerly from the Guards. So, that's already really good. And obviously these two have played each other, I think this year, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was last year, I'm not too sure, in the Red Bull home grounds. So, but 100 Thieves did win that one. C9 looked a bit shaky. So, but either way, I think 100 Thieves and C9, I think both of them deserve to be in S tier. Evil Geniuses, where did I go with this team? They have, obviously, they are still growing their roster. They only have 9 players right now as of recording this, so apparently, according to Wikipedia, the starting roster is probably going to be Busio, Ethan, Jogimo, Com, and BCJ. And then for the subs, we have Reformed, Apoth, Demon One, and Screwface. And then the coaches are Potter, Lin, and Zeeks. I think they're going to be just a C tier team, I'll be honest. I'm not really expecting a lot from them. They could maybe upset. I'll say this. They do have upset potential. But I'm not really expecting anything. I think they're going to be better than Carmen Corp. Maybe even better than BBL, actually. So I'll put them on the top of C tier. Furia. Meh. Again. I mean, they have Quick, Cali, Mazin, DGZin, and MW0. And they have Kalau as the coach still. And they actually, today, they added Conan as the substitute, basically as a sixth player. I think they're probably gonna be another C tier team. I think they're probably gonna be better than Karman Corp in my opinion. Actually, I think actually no. I think Fury might be a bit worse than Karman Corp, I'll be honest. But I think C tier team definitely where Fury is. I think those might be. I think Crew might be actually top of maybe C tier. I think they might be. I had to say maybe around here. I'm pretty sure. I'll put Karman Corp actually in front of BBL in my opinion. I think actually. Let's put Crew actually in the top of C tier. Crew was like Klaus and Nags. Mostly both of them were formerly in the roster last year. But they've had a Jand, Davies, Melser, and Zeddy. Zeddy kind of proved himself in the Red Bull home ground. He was actually pretty decent. Melser, he wasn't there because I'm pretty sure he had a wedding. He actually got, I'm pretty sure he got proposed, so that was cool. Davies, he was a really good player. He was pretty consistent in Jand. He was just cracked like always. So I think Crew's gonna be a C tier team in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not expecting a lot from Crew, I'll be honest. Leviathan or Leviathan, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Leviathan. I'm gonna say they're definitely an A tier team. I don't think they're better than Koi, in my opinion. I think they're a bit worse than Koi. But the roster, King, Takalila, Shy, Nozweir, Mazzino, and Kesnet, that's already a good player lineup. And then the coaches on your B Tony. I mean, it makes sense why they shouldn't really be changing anything on that team. Loud. Well, they do have three players on their championship team of Aspas, Les, and Sardak. But they've also obviously added Kawasan and Tuzzy, two very, very young players who could actually prove themselves as some phenomenal players. I mean, we didn't know a lot about Aspas and Les, and they performed amazingly in Champions. That could be also the same here as well in Locked In for Loud. They do have Fraud and STK. Apparently, Fraud helped them a lot on their way onto Champions. And STK, I can't remember. I think STK is formerly from Fury, but I might be wrong about that. I think they're going to be a top of A tier, and they're based. I think they're on the cups of becoming S tier. You know what I mean? Definitely A tier, but if they perform but they do also have a chance of making it up to S tier. I think there's a very high chance I could move them up to S tier later on this video. MIBR. Yikes. Not expecting a lot from them. I mean, they do have, they have Jay-Z, Frozen, Heat, Mers, RGLM, or RGL Meister, and Zalzin, but he's going to be the sixth player. But they have Bazooka as the coach, who's obviously formerly from Loud, also known as BZK. Obviously, we didn't know how to pronounce the name, but it's actually called Bazooka, which is fair enough. I think they're probably going to be, I would say, C tier, maybe? I think it might be better than Karman Corp. Maybe better than Evil Geniuses. I'm not too sure. But, I mean, I do think I'm sleeping on Furia quite a lot, I'll be honest. I'll put MIBR still there, but I have a chance but there's a slight chance that I might put them up in B tier, because they have actually a decent looking roster. They actually have pretty good. NRG, I'll put them at the bottom of S tier. I don't think they're the best. I think they might be better than C9, I'll be honest. I don't think they're gonna be better than 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves look really, really good. Obviously, NRG, they also have Psalm, Finesse, Crashies, Victor, and Artis, and also have Thrifer as a sixth player. And the coaches, they have Shet, and they also have Trainer as the assistant coach. I'm not too sure how Psalm is going to fill in the shoes of Marved. That's going to be my only worry. I think Artis, I think it's fine. Victor, Crash, I think Victor might actually get a bit more pressure, I'll be honest. Now, because obviously he used to run in and not really care about his own about his whole team. I don't know, because I'm confident on NRG. I think NRG are going to be definitely title contenders. But I'm just a bit worried for Sam and Victor. That's all. And I can't remember what Thwifer plays. I'm pretty sure Thwifer plays Sentinels. I'm pretty sure. So he's basically, I actually don't know what he plays. I'll be honest, but pretty sure he's a Sentinel player. If not, I've known he's a flex player, but I'm not too sure. They can maybe sub Thwifer in, but I really doubt that they will. But I think NRG low S tier just for now, because there's a lot of good teams, I'll be honest, in Locked In. Final one for America, we have Sentinels. I think they're going to be an A tier team. I think they're pretty solid. I don't think they could be better than Lao, though, in my opinion. I think Lao would just have the edge of them. I mean, if we didn't see them play in Ludwig and Tarek Invitational, I would have put them maybe in high, maybe like low S, even high A, but probably where I would still put them in high A. They have 10 Zekin, Sarsi, Pankata, Def, and Sick as a 6th player. And then for the coaches, they have Psycho and Kaplan. But just like I said, there's so much amazing teams and amazing players on in here that I generally think that they probably going to not even make. I said so. I don't think they're going to win against Fnatic, and even the freaking simulation thinks that they will win against Fnatic, but then they will lose to T1 of all teams, which I highly doubt that will actually happen. I'll be very surprised if that actually does happen, but either way. I put Sentinels in A tier because that's just where I think they're going to be. As I move over to Detonation Focus Me. Oh gosh, this team. There's like no star player here. I mean, like there is Soldem, but I doubt Soldem's actually going to get any playtime. I think when they were doing the Japan, like the everyone versus Japan one, like with Z Division, Fnatic, DRX, and PPX, I'm pretty sure it was. I'm just not too certain on Detonation, I'll be honest. I generally think that they're just gonna struggle a bit. Like if we have like I'm currently having a look at the Riot Games 1 Pro Invitational, and I don't think they even played okay, so they did play Soldem against PaperX and against DRX. So Soldem fell off. He was not good at all. He didn't play in the Fnatic one. Take kind of tried to carry them, but yeah, I mean, Soldem's kind of fell off, which means that the team's not going to do well, and I think they're probably going to be a D tier team. I'm not. I don't have any faith in this team. I'll be honest. I mean, unless Soldem comes back alive and is like the Korean Jet that we all know about, I'm not confident on Detonation. I think they're probably going to struggle. If not, they probably are going to bomb out out of the tournament. I'll be very surprised if they don't. But Detonation, I think they're definitely a B tier. DRX, easy yes, obviously. I think they could. Actually, I'll put Navi here. And then I'll put, yeah, so that's, I think that's actually pretty good. Yeah, so DRX, easy S tier. I don't know what else to really say. They still have like the 5 core players, Stacks, RB, Zest, Buzz, and Mako. They are the Foxy9, who has actually played pretty well in the tournaments that DRX has been a part of. And the coaches, obviously, Termi, Argency, and Glow. No surprises there. Genji. Oh, Genji. Decent roster on paper. Meteor, King, TS, Echo, and Secret. They obviously have the coaches of Elmer Putty and Bale. But when they played on the tournament, so it's with Talon, DRX, and Zeta Vision, they were the worst team out of everyone. I think they're probably going to be, I'll say maybe like a low B tier team in my opinion. They're just, I don't have any faith, like a lot of faith as in like, I think the team has a lot of potential doing well, but from what I've seen, they just look sloppy. They look pretty bad. And it might be also because of Intro leaving the team. And I was like, if Intro was still in the team, I would have put them like maybe like a high B, maybe even low A to be more genuine and what's the term like for less harsh on them. But because they don't have Intro anymore, and they have Secret as a controller player who's actually decent, but they make a lot, but they made too many mistakes. I'm not expecting a lot from Genji, I'll be honest. So that's why I'm just putting Genji at a pretty low B tier. Global Esports, obviously they are I mean, can't believe on their name. Obviously they are very global. They have, I think 3 or 4 Indian players, and then also have 2 Koreans, 1 Canadian, 1 Indonesian, 1 Australian. I think like the team, I mean the players that they have, which is SK, Rossi, Aaron, Texture, Wrongski, Lightning Fast, Bazzi, and Moneyet, and I think pretty sure they also have Skillsy and Kappa. Staff, Eraser, which he's been really good. Spin and Bait, I'm pretty sure Spin is formerly from Mad Lions, I'm pretty sure. I think they're going to be probably just a C tier team. I think they're just going to be there. They're going to be just meh, I'll be honest. They are versing Team Vitality, but I mean, I don't know what the language is going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be English, because I'm pretty sure I saw Aaron or Wrongski play with Texture, and I'm pretty sure he was speaking some English, but I'm not too sure. I'm a bit worried about Texture and Bazzi, and Bazzi a lot more. I'll be honest, because if it is English, and that's gonna be pretty difficult, because I don't think in the Overwatch days when Bazzi was playing, I don't think he speaks any English. Maybe, I'm not too sure. I think he might have actually with 100 Spark when he was playing with them. But it's been a very long time. I don't think I think Money I can probably speak some English, but I'm not too sure. So I move over to PaperX, and I think they're going to be. This actually might surprise some people, but I think they're going to be an A tier team. I think they're going to be at least I do think they are going to be on the top of A tier, in my opinion. They haven't really changed a lot. They still have Mind Freak, Forsaken, Bankai, Devi, and Jing. They still have Alex as a coach. They've also added cigarettes into the lineup, but that's just also because they need a sixth player. You're supposed to have a sixth player. So, but I think they're gonna be pretty competitive. I still think they might have. They're probably like Loud, where they could sneak their way onto S tier. But as of right now, I'm not that big on PaperX right now. I don't think they probably have a good chance of winning, but apparently the simulation thinks that they will come second somehow. But I have to wait and see on that. Rex, Regim, Keon. Oh boy. Now obviously if you saw my pick'ems, you've obviously seen that I actually have Rex and Keon winning against Foot Esports. Obviously, the simulation did not agree with me. It said that Foot Esports was going to win against RRQ. Even like I'm pretty sure some people might also agree on that, because it's such a weird matchup. Look, if it was like, let's just say, if it was like Rex and Keon versus, let's just say, Giants Gaming, easily I'll put Giants Gaming as winning that. But because it's Foot versus Rex and Keon, and I do think both these teams are the worst teams in Locked In, it's such a flip coin scenario. Like, you don't know who's gonna win. Who's like, you generally have no idea. Which means also I do think Maximum Keon is gonna be better than Foot in my opinion, but only just a slight amount. Now, if you evolve obviously, Foot. I can't remember actually what Foot has played in. If we have a look, Foot has also played in the Red Bull Home Grounds. They've also played in the Open File All-Stars as well, and the G League Valorant Clash Grand Final, so I don't think it really matters. Oh no, never mind. Didn't matter actually. And they lost to Divinity. Let me get this straight. Foot Esports lost to Divinity. Okay? Divinity. Who I'm gonna say at best a tier 3 team. I'll say that. Like, for example, like in this one as well, Giants Gaming, they lost to Parlay Esports, which I would say definitely a tier 2 Turkish team, because they have some cracked players. And it's even worse that BBO won against 10 Star. And 10 Star, obviously they have Polish players, but still, freaking Divinity, my god. When was the last time I've ever heard of that name, Divinity? My god. And then let's have a look at Rex and Keon. I'm just gonna look at their results now. They played in the Freaka TVC Invitational. They lost to Full Sense, which is fair enough. I'll be honest. They were kind of, Full Sense, Boom Esports, both of them are tier 2 organizations. I'll say that. Was it this one? I'm pretty sure it was this one where Rex and Keon. Actually, that was with the overall, so that doesn't really matter. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure there was a time where they had their new roster, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, ROQ, they lost to Boom. It was actually a pretty close game, I'll be honest, against Boom, and then they lost to Full Sense. Sorry. So hang on. Let me get it right. Hang on. So they won against Boom for the opening match, very close game. Then they just lost to Full Sense, and then they got demolished by Boom a second time. So I will give Wrexham Key on the benefit of the doubt. They have a very good roster, in my opinion. I think they are really good. Very good individual players. Obviously, as much as we probably hate to admit that because of how badly RRQ's reputation is now in the Indonesian scene, because they wanted to keep 3 of the Filipino players for some stupid reason. I don't know why you would. I would have to give Wrexham Keon a bit of an advantage, because at least for esports, because at least they didn't lose to a tier 3 organization. And that was when they still had at the captain. They had at a captain, and then they still lost horrendously into Divinity. 13-2. 13-2. Let me show you this. 13-2 on Breeze. Do you see this? 13-2 on Breeze of the final map here in the Valorant Clash Grand Finals, where Navi just won against Parlay Esports, which obviously are maybe like the most underrated Turkish talent I've ever seen in my life. They lost to Divinity 13-2 on Breeze for the final map. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But whatever. That's why I say that Foot is the worst team here in Locked In. Anyways, let me continue. T1. They struggled a lot, I'll be honest, in the Ludwig X Herrick Invitational. They were doing some weird plays. Like, Zeta wasn't looking too good. Ben was on Smurfs for some freaking reason. I think I thought Carpe was probably on Smurfs because something I generally don't know. They were forcing Neon every map with Sire player. I'll say C tier. I'll say C tier at best for T1. I'm not expecting a lot from this team. Even though they actually are versus Furia, so that could be like a good match. Obviously, I'm pretty sure I picked Furia to win because I think Furia is more. How do I put this? I think Furia is like more stable and can definitely coordinate better than T1 in my opinion. T1, they just look lost. So yeah, that's why I just think T1 are definitely a C tier team. Talent Esports, I think they could be pretty solid. I think they could be a B tier team in my opinion. I think they could be better than Heretics. Not really better though than Vitality and Giants Gaming, which you still can't see, but there it is. I do think Talent Esports is going to be a solid B tier team with their former roster from Xerxia Esports, along with Garnets and Jit Boys. So, and actually, I'm pretty sure Garnets was also formerly from Xerxia, like the new Xerxia roster. I'm pretty sure, but not too sure. Whatever it is. Team Secret. They've only added 2 new players of Envy and Lenny. They've kept JC Vash, Dubstep, Walkham, and Jeremy. They've also added Warbird as a coach. C tier team. Pretty easy, solid C tier team. They could be maybe B tier team, but I don't have a lot of faith in them on that. So I think they're going to be a C tier team, in my opinion, for Team Secret. Zay Division. I think they're going to be maybe a low A tier team, in my opinion. They still have everyone, Laz, Crow, Deb, Sugar 0 and 10. They've obviously added Barca into the lineup, who could just play Brimstone on Split if they do play Split. That could be the thing. They obviously have XQQ and Genius still as the coach, so Z Division, solid 8 tier team. Now, let's move over to the Chinese teams, which are maybe the most difficult one to predict. So we'll first start off with Edward Gaming. They've obviously, I'm pretty sure they still have everyone from their champions roster from last year, other than Life. They have Hao Dong, Kyokyo, Nobody, Kang, Smoggy, and Abu. They obviously have After It and Muggle still in the coaching and stuff. I would say that Edward Gaming, I think they're probably going to be a solid B tier. I think they're going to be solid mid-pack B tier team, in my opinion, Edward Gaming are. But obviously, there's a lot of great talent, a lot of great teams, so that could be extremely wrong with that, but I'm not too sure. The simulation still thinks that Edward Gaming is gonna win against 100 Thieves, which I kind of doubt horrendously. So, yeah. Now for the final one, FPX Fun Plus Phoenix. this one is maybe the most unknown team I've ever seen. Obviously, this team was formerly known as Zishqui. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Zukui? Zukui. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Zukui. Or Zuki. I don't know. I generally have no idea. And if I did mispronounce it, I deeply, deeply apologize. They did win actually against Edward Gaming in the FGC Valorant Invitational 2022 Epilogue. So they are actually really, really good. Since they beat Edward Gaming. But I'm pretty. Do they have a? Oh no, never mind. Never mind. I do not know. I have no idea. I'll be honest. This team is it's a massive unknown for me. Maybe the biggest unknown team, obviously, in this whole tournament. I don't know. I mean, they are, I guess you can say, maybe the best Chinese teams that they've had, as they have won against Edward Gaming on the final, in the final tournament in 2022. I'm not too sure, really. If I were to say, I'll maybe say maybe a high C, probably top of C tier, in my opinion, of how well they've been performing in other results and everything with Edward Gaming. Well, actually, you know what? I'll put them low B. Pretty low B, I'll say that. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. So that is obviously my tier list. You can ridicule it if you really want to, but just keep it civil down in the comments below. So for S tier, I have Navi, Fnatic, DRX, Team Liquid, 100 Thieves, NRG, and C9. Actually, I'll put maybe with Liquid here. Actually, that's better. Oh, there we go. For A tier, I have PaperX, Loud, Sentinels, Koi, Leviathan, and Zeta Vision. In B tier, in the one that you can't see, which is Giants Gaming, Team Vitality, Edward Gaming, Town Esports, Team Heretics, Gen.G, and FPX. In C tier, I have Crew, Furia, Global Esports, T1, Evil Geniuses, Team Secret, MIBR, Carmen Corp, and BBL. And in D tier, I have Destination Focus Me, Rexigam Keon, and Foot Esports as the worst team in Locked, in my opinion. So, that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.